Hey everyone, post-editing Brian here. Before we get into the actual episode with Kori, I want to take a little bit of time to mention something. In this episode, we do bring up the war in Ukraine, mental health issues in the military, and homeless veterans. I want to provide resources and ways to help everyone in these situations. In the description below, there are links to several sites on you can help and donate to those in Ukraine and those soldiers who are struggling. I have also provided the number to the military on-source crisis line if needed. Let us all support those who are going through these rough times. And now, on to the episode.
But yeah, as you know, there's four we don't talk about the fourth branch, but there's usually three branches everyone talks about, like the Marines, Air Force, and Army, and then you got Space Force. Your guy sleeps next to you, you kick him to get him awake. And man, I got fucking wombo comboed every single night. You're like that shit happened because it's just me trying to.
How's life been at that base so far?
I mean, if you're a city kid like we are, it's kind of hell on earth. There's no tech.
Hello, all of you beautiful people out there. How y'all doing today? Welcome back to Apartment 308 Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, as always, and welcome back to the show called It's Been a While. If you're new here to the channel or have never heard of this show before, let me explain it to you. It's Been a While is a podcast where I just get together with a friend who I haven't seen / talked to in a long time. We're just gonna have a one-on-one chat together and, catch up with each other and learn more stuff about the world we live in, And today's guest, you've actually seen him before on a previous episode of Remember That, where we talked about League of Legends. Welcome to the show, Kori. How you doing?
I'm doing right. I'm chilling, killing.
Hell yeah.
So no, it's been a while. I don't think what's the last time I done this? Last year.
Yeah, it was literally almost a year ago when we did that League of Legends episode.
I mean, it's not literally a year ago, but yeah.
It feels like a year ago.
4 or 5 months, something like that. Because I was in AIT when we did that.
Yeah, man, dude. Like I said, it feels like almost a year, but yeah, I think it's been like a couple months. If you guys remember from the League of Legends episode, we did mention just like for a second that Kori here is actually in the military, and it's been almost a year since you signed up. So we're just gonna interview Kori about what's it like in the military after a year, and it's straight out of college too. So that'll be interesting. So
Yeah, I don't think I get this point.
wow, that's literally everyone.
Yeah, I think it's everyone in the army. Is like, how the fuck did I get here?
So if you guys want to hear on Kori's take on what's it like being in the military for 1 year, make sure you subscribe to Apartment 308 over on the YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else you're listening on a podcast platform, give us a follow and a like. We'd appreciate it a lot. Alright, Kori, you ready for it?
Yeah, let's get started.
Alright, that's what we like to hear. Alright, let's jump into it. So, first up, quickly describe the branch you're in, and what is the specific position you are in right now?
Like my job description.
Yeah, pretty much your job description.
But yeah, as you know, there's four we don't talk about the fourth branch, but there's usually three branches everyone talks about, like the Marines, Air Force, and Army, and then you got Space Force. Oh, yeah, you got Coast Guard too. Space Force and Coast Guard.
So that's
those
five.
Don't really talk that much. That's five. I even forgot what it's Coast Guard.
We don't talk about the fourth one.
No, fourth is fun. But anyways, yeah. So I'd say the Army is the middle ground between the main three branches, because Air Force is kind of more, I guess you could say educated, because they mostly deal with tech and logistics.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Army does that too, but to a lower degree, because you're not really the scores to take on the ASVAB, which is the entrance exam. You don't need to be that high to qualify for the same job as the Army as you would Air Force. So, for example, my score was around an 85 on the ASVAB, and I
Mm-hmm.
was able to qualify for any job I wanted to underneath the Army. But for Air Force, I was able to qualify for like half the jobs.
Ah,
It was a
damn.
bit more. They have like a bigger, higher standard because I want to do IT in the Air Force, but I didn't qualify for it. So they're like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, you could do radio and logistics in the Army. It's like, okay, I guess I'll take that. Also, the recruiters for the Army were a lot more chill than the other two branches where I was at, so that kind of like helped me
I
influence
I
because,
I was expecting for them to be a little bit more strict on you, man.
dude, my recruiter plays fit like he's a Fizz main.
what
So
a what a true man.
like I was like, damn, you goddamn Fizz main? It's like I
you
play League of Legends.
you
It's
goddamn
like
fizz man.
I don't know. There's a lot of people in the army that are Fizz mains. It's a really weird correlation. But anyways, yeah. My role in the army, well, quote quote, on paper, is I'm a radio operator slash maintainer,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the 25 series. So anything with a 25 in the front, you'll see all the jobs there. It's like 12 Bravo, 11 Bravo, 42 Alpha. It's the first two digits is to determine like which area that you work in. So for example, 25 is signal. Anything that has to do with communications or technology or computers, that's in 25.
Oh, okay.
So the letter for after mine is 25 Quebec, which is multi-channel transmissions operator slash maintainer. It's a mouthful, but that's basically means we control like, the middle point of the radios. So like say you call from like California to New York, we the guys that like maintain the relay that's in the center.
Ah,
So that's
okay.
like a Texas to make sure that the call goes through to the bunch of the other relays.
So, okay, so pretty much you're just maintaining good communication connection while also being IT guy still within that
Yeah.
area.
I mean, I wish I did my job, but yeah, that's my job description.
All right, all right. So, next question, and of course we have to get this out of the way because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know why did you join the military?
I mean, everyone has different answers and reasons. Like mine personally is just because of COVID, and I couldn't like really find a job during the pandemic, and I needed a bit more job security because I didn't know like how long COVID was gonna last. Because
so pretty
from
much
the
this
way
is
it
like
was,
so pretty
yeah,
much this was like your last resort in a sense, huh?
yeah, because I wanted to work for the city, and the city shut down, as you know, with most California like cities in California during the start of the pandemic, everyone just shut down all public services.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I didn't want to sell for any other job that paid less because I think I was getting paid around like 25 an hour for an entry level job in the city. It was like I wasn't gonna drop that for some like McDonald's shit, whatever.
Man, dude.
Like my standards were too high for the amount of work I put in because honestly it was pretty relaxing to work for the city. I enjoyed it. Like during the election, I made like 2 grand in 1 week because I was the only IT guy
Whew.
out there.
Damn, alright. 2 grand for during the election? Shit.
Yeah, I mean it was like 12-hour shifts, and then I worked overtime because I had to jump between locations.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Like the amount of effort I had to put in the job, all I did was maintain machines. That's it. Because there wouldn't be the machines didn't break too often, maybe like once every 2 3 hours. So it was just me chilling, watching like nature documentaries on my laptop, and then my boss would be like, "Hey, Corey, this is one of the machines out. Can you help out with it?" I'm like, "All right."
That's literally
It's just
every
paper jam.
it's like literally every IT person I know.
And it's like it's great. If anything, if I can get that job again after like I'm done my first contract, I just go back to that because that job paid way more than I get in the military. All the wages in the military are public, so uh, I make like what 30K a year, somewhere around there.
Oh wow.
Without, but that's not including like, because that's all into pocket. I don't pay for rent or whatever.
Right, right.
So when you really think about it, I make kind of the same if I was like paying rent.
Yeah.
The way you think about it, because I don't have to pay for my insurance. That's free. Like all
Insurance.
my doctor bills are there.
Yeah.
Like they get waived.
Okay, yeah, cuz like trying to do the math in my head. Yeah, that I feel like that would be like the same amount.
And then like for other people that have joined, there's tons of reasons. A lot of people get it to do like they want a family, and their current situation makes it so they're in poverty. Like the military gets you out of poverty, it doesn't make you rich, but it does get you out of poverty.
Right. So
So a
it
lot of people that
like
have like they're 20 years old, they have families, they have like two kids, and the military supports them.
so pretty much like what you're saying is like people that join the military, or in your case like the army, it's like it's pretty much you just want to get that new life if something like probably terribly went wrong. Like for you it's because of COVID and you couldn't get the job that you wanted. For other people they could have been homeless, but now they actually have a home, and they got something to do, and they finally got a purpose.
Yeah, it's usually just to either jumpstart your life or just create a foundation for yourself.
I
I don't think
see.
anyone really wants to stay in the military. The retention in the military is pretty low. Like most people do like 1 to 2 contracts and then leave the army.
Yeah, yeah.
I've yet to meet someone at this post I'm at that's had like more than 2 contracts. That's still their rank, like a specialist. Usually, when you see people with 1 or 2 more contracts underneath their belt, it's like they're sergeant first class or sergeant.
Yeah, so I mean, I think just putting things in a light perspective, like yeah, like joining the military, it is just a way, like you said, just to jumpstart your life and to also, get some footing for yourself.
Yeah, because you also get those benefits after you leave the military.
Oh,
Like,
military benefits, baby.
yeah, so the VA loan allows you to put a down payment for a house or apartment, whatever, with no interest. So pretty much, as soon as you get out of the army, you can get any household you want. I'll help you with that.
Oh, yeah. Because
Uh,
I know my friend's dad got that situation where he has like a pretty nice house. So and I've been to it before, and I'm like, yo, dang, military benefits really be good for you.
yeah, you have Medicaid or whatever they have it called. I think it's called TRICARE. You get like a big discount on that. I think I'm not sure. I haven't looked too much of how you still use the military insurance after you get out, but I know like you get a discount on that. Free school, pretty much you get a free degree out of it as long as you pass your classes. Because you fail, you have to pay back for those classes that you failed.
I see.
So when I get out, I might attempt to do my master's, but let's see if I have the motivation. But for now, the military pays for my certificates, so they pay for my Google certificate subscription because you can connect those two. But yeah, like if you're pretty proactive in the military or after the military, you want to do your education, they pay for that. Especially
Hell
if you
yeah.
just like agree with them that you'll stay longer, then they'll pay for your masters and take you to like the officer.
That's pretty cool of them. I like that.
Yeah. For my bullshit you gotta put with it, it's a nice like trade off when you actually remember it.
Yeah, when you actually remember it. So yeah, so that's pretty much, why you entered the military and, justifying why others would join. So, moving forward a little bit, you chose to be in the military, and of course, everyone that signs up has to go through basic training. So, dude, I remember when you got back from basic, you were letting all that shit out, like about what happened. So, yeah, give us a good summary about what happened there.
Like, I don't know, in hindsight, honestly, basic training was the most fun I had in the military.
Wait,
When, like,
really?
yeah, so, because after, what, 4 or 5 months after you leave basic, you stop doing the whole, like, hardcore army stuff, and you kind of just like, man, this feels like a regular job. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the hoorah shit, living, like, the tough life, exercising.
This isn't what
'Cause
Call of Duty's like. Hold on.
Because basic, yeah, it feels hopeless most of the time, like after you get there, because you're just getting berated, and you have to do all these menial tasks, and you have no freedoms. Everything's being tracked for you. You go to they track when you wake up, you go eat, go to training, all that. But those hard moments where you're just there with your boys, that's kind of what makes it worth it. I remember one of the rucks we had, which is pretty much hiking with 35 to 50 pounds of your back.
Ooh.
Well, my heels are bleeding, but the only thing that kept me going was the guy behind me. He's like, "All right, quack quack." For every like, for every quack quack, I'll sing a note of a fortunate son. And I was like, "Damn, really?"
What the?
So it's just me like tuning out everything, just listening to this guy like singing it really badly, just fortunate son, and like, just enjoying myself. just laughing. Like you learn to laugh at the pain, and every like small good moments, you make that shit last because
Yeah.
you guys are getting smoked the next day. Also, I was the most fit I've ever been after getting out
The
of basic. I actually
the
had
most
like
workout you've ever done.
yeah. Yeah, one being the most regarded than like two, like being able to do exercises I never thought I would. Like I was able to do a pull up, and I
Hell
never thought I'd be able to
yeah.
do a pull up in my fucking life.
It's
Like
like
I can like at the end of basic training, I was actually able to flex my arms. I was like, shit, I'd never seen like tone in my arms.
Corey got buffed. Literally.
But because like when you really notice it is when you have to do breach exercises, and they're like, all right, quack quack point, you gotta kick down the door. And it's like, I
Oh
don't even think I can do
shit.
it. And then like I just full force that door, and it breaks open. It's like, oh my god, did I do that? Oh fuck!
You
Like,
kick the door
I
down,
didn't
you're
think.
just in shock. I was just like, oh shit, I did
Yeah,
that.
it's like damn, like I actually can lift shit. I've definitely degraded now. We haven't doing as much PT ever since like that deployment. Because when you're out there, like you don't do exercise in the morning. All you do is just do like the task for the day.
Right, right.
We've been going back to PT, and then oh my god, everyone's just unfit. We're just vomiting everywhere.
But you know what? You're doing it with the boys. That's pretty much it.
But it's not the same. It's there's no hopelessness. We're all just so fucking lazy and sick of leadership. That's it. So yeah, I enjoyed basic. So there's like three major tests in basic. They call it the hammer. It's like the hammer, the forge, and the anvil. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And each one's like a major learning point for you. So you do sort of like a really big exercise slash task. So for the anvil, you had to do a 2 mile ruck. Just with everyone, you can't fall out. If you fall out, then you get sent back.
Right.
So all the way back to all the way back to the beginning of training.
Oh
Like you gotta do it all over again.
shit. Damn.
So that's 3 weeks of your life wasted technically. So every time you do PT, you have to like 100% it because if you don't, that test is gonna come and you can't make it. Then like that, you either get sent home or you gotta restart it. Most people
Wow.
go home. They don't want to restart the entire thing because it's just
Yeah.
hell. Because along with those tests, there are phases. There's red phase, blue phase, white phase. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
red phase, white phase, blue phase. I think that's the order, and it's like the colors of the American flag. And the red phase, it's where like they hit you hard, like they try to like shock therapy out of like your civilian life to make you a soldier. So
Oh shit.
that's where you get fucking kicked out of bed 1 a.m. in the morning and do push-ups.
Man.
Because my first night was like, damn, that like that wasn't too bad in the day. And then you go to sleep and you hear ding 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 ding, and it's like, oh fuck, what is going on? And it's like, get down the ground, get down the ground, push, push. It's like, where's your fucking uniform? It's like, what the? And it's like, your battle buddy, you decided that he didn't want to do guard, and came and he was sleeping on his ass. It's like, now when you go down, you're gonna say thank you, and when you go, you say battle buddy. Down, thank you, battle buddy, thank you, battle buddy.
Oh my gosh.
And then like yeah, so after the first test, the second test is like a 5 mile ruck, and then the forge is which usually kills a lot of people, or at least injures them, like it injured me, is the 15 mile ruck.
Oh man.
And it's not like 15 miles straight. You go 5 miles, you do an event, you do another 5 miles, you do an event, and then like you go all the way back. And that last trip back is like 3 days with no sleep. You gotta ruck back.
3 straight days no sleep with a heavy
Yeah,
ass bag
yeah,
for wait, say 15 mile or
yeah. If it's like 15 miles total,
oh okay. Wow,
and like
shit.
you're not like if we got any sleep, it was like 3 to 5 hours, and it wasn't even good sleep because you had to pull security, and pulling security is
Like
you go in like
checking.
a circle. Yeah, it's guard, so other people can sleep. So like
Oh, okay.
you don't die basically.
Oh,
And
okay, okay.
they have you do that really early in basic, just because that's what you do when you go in deployment. So when I was in like over in Europe, we did like when everyone had to go to sleep, an unlucky 10 people had to stay up the entire night and just stare into the dark with a fucking 50 cal.
Oh
That was
shit.
like that was the worst 12 hours of my life, and it's probably gonna happen again at some point.
Man.
Well, yeah, it's and during that like so the first event is the rook, and then you learn how to pull security. You learn how to make a foxhole, which is like digging a hole in the ground for you to lay in,
Right.
because you want to like cover with bushes and shit, so you stay camouflaged. Pretty much everyone failed that night because you're supposed to pull security at night and make sure the drill sergeants don't enter your circle. Damn, like
Oh.
those drill sergeants, some of them were like Cap Scout ninjas because they just got past us every single time. You
Like
look
the
into the
fuck?
darkness, no sleep. You think something moves, you aim your fucking rifle at it, and like nothing's there. And you're like, damn, maybe I could just shut eye for like 2 seconds, and you fucking collapse, and then the drill sergeant with his night vision goggles just walk past you. You don't
Oh.
have night vision goggles, but you're staring to the dark. Well,
Oh
everyone
my
else, all
gosh.
this,
This
they have night vision. They're just trying to like make to get past you,
is the worst game
and
of
then
like needle in the haystack. Like the
and then
fuck.
every time they get past you, less people get to go to sleep. Like you have to. So there's 20% security, 4% security, 6% security, and then there's 100% where just everyone's just awake for the entire night.
Oh my gosh.
And
You might as well just keep
we got
moving.
to well, you can't keep moving because like you'll give yourself away. So you just gotta lay there
Oh.
and stare into the dark. And your pairs and the things like when you lay down and look into the dark, you like cross legs. So in case your like guy sleeps next to you, you kick him to get him awake. And man, I got fucking wombo comboed every single night. Like that shit happened because it's just me trying to like you see me like in college where I just kind of like keep falling asleep.
Yeah.
Look at that. Except I'm just
Yeah.
getting the getting the shit beat out of me because someone punch me or kick me. I'll like wake up and then 2 seconds later I'll go back to sleep. Just knock the fuck out and I'll get kicked again.
Oh my gosh, Corey.
Um, the second test, the hammer, that 5 mil rug was insane. Like I had never thought how much sand would slow me down. That like we had two. It's somewhat funny on the rug. It's a bit of a dark theme, but well, like when you're rucking up a hill and the drill sergeant's behind you, and then someone falls out, it's like, oh, there goes another one. Bye bye.
Oh my
Hello.
god.
Bye bye.
Oh no.
Some of the jokes they pull are pretty funny because a lot of times what people do is that they try to sprint up the hill and slow down, and sprint up the hill and slow down with the ruck on their back.
Man.
So the drill sergeant would like mock him and be like, he'll like, slow down, slow down, man, this is awful. It's like mock us.
Sounds like a cartoon moment right there.
Yeah, you can't ever lay down. You take a knee when you rest, and you have to like pull security once again. And when you pull security during your ruck, you get to 2 lanes, and each person takes like a 45-degree cone on the sides. I don't know, like if I could draw you a picture, but think of, like the street. You know, there's like 2 sidewalks. Think of like
Yeah.
people walk along those 2 sidewalks, and then once you stop, you gotta look out into the distance to cover each angle.
Right, right.
So there's no one looking inside the lane, but everyone's looking outside the lane.
Ah, okay, okay.
So you do that for 5 miles straight, and then you do like I think no, it's not grenades. The grenades is the forge. Actually, no, it might be hammer. I forget the events, but I know the grenades are somewhere there. You throw like a dummy grenade, and as soon as you throw that dummy grenade correctly, they let you do the actual grenade.
Oh boy.
So the drill sergeants would just troll us and throw the dummy grenades at us, and because those things like pop. It's pretty much a flashbang, but there's no blinding light. It makes a loud ass noise that scares you.
Oh, like those little like pop crackers you like get
Yeah.
like during 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that thing flies around and you get too close to that shit, it hit you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's like a confidence course somewhere. I forget the events.
Confidence course.
But so confidence course is a bunch of obstacles that you go through that
Oh.
take place at a really high elevation. And all I remember is falling off each one of those, and I still pass because they just want you to
Dang.
try it. Like for most of the tests they do, as long as they see you go through it and not just be like, no, I can't do it, then most of the time you'll pass.
So pretty much they
Good.
don't really look for quality. They're just looking for endurance for each of the soldiers.
Yeah, it's like if you're willing to go through it and fail, they'll let you pass. But failing usually hurts most of the time because you're falling for a very high elevation. So they don't punish you anymore prior like after because that shit hurt usually.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There's one moment where this is also called the Berlin Wall. And it's just a rope that you have to scale up along with the wall. I get to the top, I like flip over like Spider-Man style, like when he like hangs over.
Yeah.
My first sergeant, my first sergeant basically was saying, if you let go of that rope, you will fall onto your neck and you will die. And it's like, oh shit, well,
Wow.
I guess I'm just stuck like this.
Wow.
So I'm just hanging there and I'm like, well, I'm stuck here. Like I can hold on to this as long as I can, but I'm gonna slip at some point. So Joe Sartin reach over. He's like, get the fuck off my wall, and he just one hand
He
carries
just
me
picks
off
you
the
up.
wall. Yeah, because I only weigh like 140, like 120 ish.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to most of these guys. Like every time that we have to do like carry exercises, mostly they go after me because they're like they could just carry me with one hand. I remember one of my deployments, one of the guys used to use me as a fucking like dumbbell.
What the?
Because we didn't have any training equipment. He's like
It's like, Corey, come here. I need to do weight training today.
yeah, he was like it's like use Tang as a weight, and I was like, oh okay. So it's just them picking me up and putting me down. But yeah, everyone remembers the forge though. Most people don't remember like the first two tests because they're really small and usually only take a day to do.
Yeah.
But the forge is a 3 to 5 day test. So you get up really early in the morning. You do a battle. It's called like Battle Bloody March or something like that. Where I think it's called Battle Bloody Live Fire. I think that's what the exercise is called. These events are kind of out of order just because COVID changed a lot of things during training, so they had to like
Yeah.
reschedule and switch stuff here and there. So it might not be identical to whatever basic training anyone who hears this, if they decide to go to the army, does after. 'Cause
Yeah.
they had to cut a lot of activities out. Like we couldn't do it's like sock 'em bop 'ems. It's like you get the giant sticks that have like the foam on it, and then you like try to whack each other
Dude.
off the platform. We were looking forward to that, but they're like, you guys can't touch each other. COVID.
Ah, man.
And yes, we did have to wear masks the entirety of basic training, and that shit sucked.
Really?
Especially for PT, because you just heavy breathing under your mask, and like you get CO2 poisoning if you like do it too hard.
And also, like, you wear glasses too, didn't you?
Yeah, so that shit will fog out every time.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that
wow.
basic training glasses are pretty much indestructible. So
Yeah.
the shit falls out your face, it keeps going. But yeah, get up at like 06 or something, you go to Battle Buddy Live Fire, and it's like a 2-man squad exercise where you cover fire for your buddy as he like runs forward to a piece of cover, and then he starts covering for you as you run to a piece of cover, and you keep going. The main con is that the guys that are firing at you have fucking like plastic bullets, so that shit hurt.
Oh.
You get shot. So the thing is, we don't have any ammo doing this, so you just have to say bang, bang, bang every time you shoot, and you gotta trust that the guy who's shooting stops firing when you say bang, bang.
What the?
Because as soon as I got to that piece of cover that was like right next to the guy, he fucking lit me up. That shit hurt so bad. Worse, he aimed for like my lower thigh, so that, like
Oh no.
that shit pretty much incapacitated me for the rest of that like the last test. I was like, why you open firing on me? I'm safe. That was really funny is that there's this one kid that everyone hated, including Joe Sargent, and when he had to do a test, Joe Sargent like walked into all the guys who are firing because they're all like the trainees too. He's like, all right, you see that silver there? Fucking light him up. So it's like 5 people who go to full auto and just start lighting this kid up. And he's like, ow, 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 ow. He's trying to just run over.
I would love to see a video of that.
Yeah. Because like everyone in just started hating this guy, so they were
Wow.
glad to open fire on this guy.
This bitch, yeah, you're gonna get the worst of it.
Yeah, it's just like I'm so glad I wasn't that hated for my drill sergeant. I can't tell my drill sergeants liked you or hated me. They would tease me all the time, but I can't tell it was out of hatred or it's like this trainee is pretty funny. I'm gonna mess with him.
I mean, at least some of the drill sergeants were like cool and casual with you guys from time to time.
Not with my platoon. My platoon, they were pretty hateful towards us just because a lot of people in my platoon just fuck shit up. Every time we get smoked every single one of them says too easy. I hate the phrase too easy because of this. Everyone in the army says too easy, and I hate it so much just because of how basic it went. Because you do like 10 push-ups, and they're like too easy, drill sergeant. Like, oh, you hear that, everyone? He says it's too easy. I guess you guys doing more. Up, down, and then everyone's like, stop, please stop, please stop saying.
Someone shut this guy up, please.
And then like you can't do anything against the guy, so they're like smile at you guys like, you guys need to do push-ups. This shit too easy. And I'm like, oh no. I remember my drill sergeant being like, quack quack. Are you in? I'm like, I'm in what's it? The Spartans. It's like, oh, you're a Spartan, huh? It's like too easy. It's like. No, drill sergeant's like, I know your battle boy says it's too easy. You guys are the strongest, right? You're the strongest. It's like, we're the strongest. Like, yeah, you're the strongest because you're the fucking dumbest. You get smoked all the time. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
But and then let's see, what else was that last test? You have to do equipment carry. So across 2 miles, you and your entire like platoon have to carry random ass items varying from ammunition crates to planks and shit, and that like you have to like rotate between you guys because it was pretty heavy.
Dang.
You do it for 2 miles, and then you have to immediately go fire at the range. So you're hot, you're sweaty, you can see the literal steam coming out of your body when the light hits you. I don't know if you ever work so hard that you actually see steam flying out. That is not like an anime thing. That shit actually happens. Like my glasses got foggy for the pure heat that was coming off my body. It was not fun because when I got to that range, my glasses would fog out when I would try to aim down sights, so I couldn't see anything I was shooting. So I just had to hope to God that I was hitting my targets.
You were blind firing most of the time, huh?
Yeah. So the only indicator that your target pop up is a small light. So I would just look for a red light and I'd shoot at the red light.
Ah, I see.
And if it disappeared, disappeared. If it didn't, I just moved to the next target. And then you have, I think, 60 bullets to go through. So just like boom, 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 like on the ground, go to cover, shoot targets, then go into standing and then shoot. I think it's easiest to shoot in prone just because you can use the ground as to absorb the recoil instead of your arm. Standing shooting is the worst shit ever. I don't know how anyone actually be accurate shooting standing, because think of like holding a pole out in front of you without using like your body to support it. It's just your arms supporting something in front of you. So take a dumbbell and like get both arms and like swing it in front of you and hold it there. That's what it feels like to shoot standing out. Is everything's in your arms, and then the only time you ever like use your shoulder is to absorb the recoil of the stock of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I can't shoot like that. Yeah, I missed most of my targets. You just gotta hit like 10, I think, to pass. At least for that exercise. Like, yeah, you rest for like maybe 30 minutes, and then you rush to another location, and I think that location's called Nick at Night. At least that's what I remember. These aren't in order, but I think one of the events is called Nick at Night. Mm-hmm. And it's a really big obstacle course that you just run through. So you run with your IOTV and Kevlar, so it's all your body armor and your weapon. So you run through the obstacle course. There's a giant wall. You scale the giant wall. You gotta like low crawl. There's a bunch of like barbed wire. But you have to like wait for the rest of your platoon every time you like finish the obstacle course. So unfortunately, a lot of people didn't make it past that. It was pretty tiring, especially at like night, and then you're just huffing and puffing. What helped me get through is just I was like with some of the guys that I was really pretty close to, so they're really supportive of me, and vice versa. So like on the wall, when the guys would get to the top, he'd throw me over, and then when we got to another course, like I would throw him over, so to keep the momentum going. And then the big moment that I have Nick and Night is the beach, like the Normandy Beach kind of thing.
Episode.
Yeah, sure, it's a beach episode. So how it works is that you're in a trench with everyone else. You have to get across the beach, low crawling, which is like, think of like being a baby turtle. You know, you gotta like your chest is on the sand, and the only way you can crawl forward is to like push yourself with your knees and your elbows. That's it. You cannot lift your chest off the floor. You're dragging yourself across the floor.
Wait.
That is what a low crawl is. You're not like if there's any space between your chest and the floor, you're not doing it right. You actually have to drag yourself, and the side of your head has to be on the floor too. So you're also dragging your fucking face.
So pretty much you're just pretending to be
You're
like a dead
you're
corpse trying to like crawl across
yeah
this
you
beach.
you're at the lowest elevation possible for your body, and you gotta low crawl across that beach with barbed wire right above you. So you try to get
Oh,
it, you're
that's
gonna
so
get stuck in
scary.
that wire.
That's so scary. Oh shit.
And if you decide, and in the open parts, if you decide to stand up, there's machine gun fire going over you. They actually have, it's like a turret just constantly firing over you. Because
Oh
it's
my
supposed to mimic
gosh.
Mojave. So, like, you stand up, you die. Yeah, they actually tell you, like, do not stand up. Whatever you do not stand up, you will die.
Oh
Like,
my
that shit will light you
gosh.
up. Like, you're low crawling across this beach with everyone, you're bumping into people, people are kicking you in the face, you're kicking someone in the face. I saw a guy go a whole 180 and go back to where we started from.
Oh shit.
I feel bad for that
Oh
guy
my
because he
god.
just did not decide to look forward and see like where, because you got to go towards the machine gun fire, like not away.
Yeah, of
You,
course.
and then you have to stop when a flare gets shot. If like a flare gets shot in the sky, you'll see like a red light, and everyone's got to stop to like
Oh,
make sure
okay.
they don't see movement. Because if they see movement, they're gonna shoot at you.
I see, I see.
And like they don't like literally shoot you, but they like you're dead. Like that's what they say. You gotta go like start over.
Oh, so it's literally if you get tagged or you like you know
Yeah.
you get up,
That
then
you
start
yeah
over.
yeah you can get away with most like some movement when that flare gets shot, but if you're obviously moving like you're trying to fix yourself, then they look at you.
Right, because again, you're supposed to pretend like you're
Yeah,
like a dead body or something, huh?
yeah, yeah. No, it's just like if like usually a flare gets shot from a distance, they'll try to survey the area, see anything moves, and if they see something move, they'll shoot in that area. So
Oh,
it's like so you don't get seen. It's not because like to identify you as a dead body. You're not. You're basically acting as you're not there because you got
I
camo on.
see, I
And it's
see.
dark.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You get to the end, you wash up a little bit, you kind of celebrate with your buddies, like that shit. That was like the coolest stuff I've done in my entire life, and it probably will only be because the rest of the army is pretty boring. Your
Wow.
support, because if you're support, you don't do all that like infantry shit anymore. Like that's the closest thing you'll do to infantry shit if you're a support MOS. So
Mm-hmm.
you work in like medical, or like IT. Like you probably won't ever touch that stuff again unless you join an infantry unit. I think like I missed like the convoy training a couple days ago because I had an appointment. Let's see, and then after Nick and night, you do ruck back to a site. You get like a couple hours of sleep, and then you start the whole like what's 5 to 7 mile ruck back home, and it's one of the worst. I think it's one of the worst things that happened to me in a long time because at the so basic training gives you the worst boots ever. They have these reinforced boots that have like plastic heel cuffs on it, and it kind of just rubs against your heel every time you take a step. So by the time I was at that point, my heels, like you could see a bit of like the bone like transparent through my heel. That's how bad it was.
Oh man.
So I've been wrecking with that the entire way home, and I had a bit of that prior to the forge, and all they gave me was ibuprofen.
What the? That's it?
Yeah, they're like, "Yo, take this shit. I got you."
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Um, yeah, I mean they take care of you after, like after it's all done, because like once you finish that, you go to the ceremony. So you're all tired, you're sweaty, your clothes stink, you stink, and then you go to the formation where they congratulate like to this day you were all soldiers, like you have been through like the hardest trials and
Woo!
shit, and honestly you kind of tear up because you're like, oh my god, that was so fucking hard, and I'm done, like that's it, it's
What
over.
what our graduation should have been.
Yeah, because like everyone, you're in pain. Everyone's around you's in pain, but you're still like
Like you're in tears
you're
of joy saying like
you're
holy shit I
you're
did this.
you're still at attention, and each officer or drill sergeant will go up to you and they'll pin that flag on your chest, be like, "You are a U.S. soldier. You did it. Congratulations." And it's probably the only fucking compliment they'll ever give you in your entire life.
The only
I
com-
remember the guy. I remember the guy next to me is like, "Man, despite all your efforts to fail, you still passed."
Wow.
I cracked up with that, and then, like I was almost falling asleep during the entire thing
Yeah, but
because at basic I learned how to fall asleep standing up, and sometimes I get caught, but That is a new skill I learned as basics, falling asleep standing up, because you be staying at attention or parade rest for hours.
Yeah, but after all that, and you're still here. Like, dude, like we're all proud of you that you like actually made it through that shit, man.
It for like those concerned, it's not like the first month is hard, and then you get used to it. You start to laugh at shit that you shouldn't have. It makes you appreciate the small things you got in life. Like I remember when thinking to myself once I got to AIT, dude, when I watch YouTube, I'm gonna watch YouTube with a purpose. I'm not just gonna watch like filler and shit because I don't know, I might not be it. I might be doing something else. I might be busy.
Yeah, like value like the moment you have or what you've got in your life, pretty much.
And like the people you meet, you'll still talk to them the same day. It's same people that bled with you through basic. You have like a nice bond, even though you're from different side of the countries, or you're not even from the same country, or you have different backgrounds. I think like one of the things I was pretty fascinated about is like everyone had like a different culture coming in. There's a lot of Southerners, people from the city, just everyone mixed around. I met a guy from like Haiti who's part of
Ooh.
our like unit, and he was there to like get citizenship to help his family out to escape from Haiti. I've met a lot of Southerners. I love Southerners, but man, I don't understand anything that they're saying. Like it's actually that bad.
I mean, let's be real. None of us can barely understand what some of the Southerners are saying half the time.
But dude, some of like their hospitality is so nice. Like they're super kind when you get the right ones.
Damn. All right, we're
Like I
breaking the stereotype. All right.
like I'm like like honestly, I wanted to take a tour of the South one day just because of the people I met in basic. That because most of them are like National Guard and National Guard,
Uh-huh.
which differs from active duty. There's two types of people in the army. National Guard actually gets to go home, and active duty goes to like a post. Like you
I
still get a
see.
post as National Guard, but it's near your hometown, and you only go once a month.
I see. I see.
So it's like part-time military.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of college students do. Like they'll go to basic training for the summer, go back to school, and get that shit paid for. And then once a month during their classes, they go to do their duty.
But I think just overall, like, I mean, basic training. I mean, as much as like the like physical trials you had to go through, yeah, it's like you said, like it brought everybody together, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it does tear some people apart. Like, God, we just hated some people. I'm sure you noticed that, like, you all shower naked next to each other.
Yeah,
Like, there
yeah.
are no walls.
Like in the
There's
movies.
some people. There are some people who just do not want to take a shower, and my God, we fucking hated them. We had this one kid. I'm just calling him like Rick, just for the sake of like privacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time we all get to the showers at night, it's like, where the fuck is Rick? I haven't seen Rick in the shower yet. Where is he?
Where's this stinky ass? Get him in here.
Like he's at his bed. It's like, Rick, get in the shower.
Oh my goodness.
'Cause you would get in trouble if your base stinked from like some people not taking a shower. So you guys were encouraged to just drag each other into the shower. Like it don't matter how. I mean, I got used to being naked in a shower after like 2 days. You just gotta get over it. You're gonna see a wee wee at least once in your life.
Yeah.
Might as well be now. Or you could just be like me and take your glasses off as soon as you get to the shower. So it's just a fog, so it looks like a fucking hentai pixelation.
It's just to see a pixelated dick, like actually censored. Oh man.
There's some people who are just too stuck up and think they were too good, despite them joining the army. It's like, why you think you're hot shit, but you joined the army? What the fuck are you doing?
I mean-
Some people couldn't get rid of their like gangsta shit. They're like, I'm from the hood, man. I'm hard as fuck. And like, well, you're not hard here. You're gonna get your ass whooped by everyone around you. Yeah, so those people not the greatest to be around, especially because they like remember in basic training, one person gets punished, everyone gets punished because you're supposed to be accountable for everyone around you.
Right, like you guys have to stick together and like
Yeah,
actually work
'cause, like,
together.
Because they try to reinforce the whole mentality that like if you're out there at war, even if you hit the guy next to you, you're still like working together. Because if he fails, you die, and you die, like everyone else starts to start tumbling.
Yeah, I mean, as much as like morbid as that like lesson is, it's pretty much true to an extent. So
As you sign up for the military, it's like,
yeah,
God, it's just a hard reality of the military sometimes when you realize, oh shit, like I'll actually have to go to combat one day.
yeah.
And yeah, so big lesson for the military is accountability. It still happens here, even though it's not like we're being less
But
hoorah about it.
but the fact that like you need to protect like not only yourself but like the other people around you and even like a lot of people the country you're representing for. So
Especially, yeah, so even here, if someone's missing, we don't get to go home. We gotta find them.
yeah,
Yeah, and it pissed people off, so you don't want to piss people off, so you show up to whatever you need to show up to, so everyone can just go home.
that's why we need the buddy system. Always gotta have the
Ah,
buddy
fuck it.
system.
Nah, fuck that buddy system. Buddy system basic is terrible. You want to go to the bathroom? Someone gotta go with you. If no one gotta go to the bathroom, no one gotta go. No one gotta go with you. You gotta sit there and you gotta piss yourself.
Oh man, but anyways, so after you got out of basic, you mentioned a few times already AIT, but you know, just quickly describe what AIT is and like what you learned from there.
So for AIT, yeah, it's based around West. You go to a certain location based on what kind of area criteria you are. So you go to tech, most likely you're going to Gordon. If you're anywhere with administration, you're probably going to go to Jackson, etc., etc. The atmosphere of AIT is a lot simpler. There's still drill sergeants and everything, but you have a bit more freedoms, as in like you get to play video games, you get to talk on your phone at
Yeah,
some posts. You get to go outside, depending on how many privileges you have. You still use the buddy system though, but you still gotta do like all the bullshit of like formation, be here, accountability. And then for what I learned, they teach you Gordon AIT is not the best because technology is always changing. So all the stuff that I learned at AIT was kind of outdated.
so you
So
still
by the
have to
time I got
keep
to my
learning.
unit,
You still have to
yeah.
keep learning yourself, or
So for example, we learned something called the HECLOS in AIT, and it's just like this radio station that helps out relays or it connects you with the other people. You stop using that as soon as you get out of AIT because it's no longer in use. So they're still
right,
teaching things because we just upgraded. Like the army's always buying new tech and applying to its soldiers, so we always got to keep learning new things. But
right.
the AIT curriculum is based on the first technology that was issued to us.
Oh, okay.
So for my AIT, I really didn't learn anything useful because I've not applied anything I've learned at AIT to now.
Just
But I
sounds like
imagine
college, man.
yeah, but I imagine it's a lot more useful at other posts, which you don't have to do with tech. So for infantry, you do
Right.
the exact same thing, but just for more like you learn more about combat, land nav, and that's still stuff you use today. Like you actually use the stuff you learn at AIT out in the field. But for tech, that doesn't really apply because we keep getting new shit.
I mean, that's pretty common, at least for like, you know, today's standards, like new tech. Just overall, we gotta still learn that shit.
Yeah, but at least like you get it like for college, you get a certification. Like more colleges are applying like certificates for what you learn, so it's just like a
Yeah.
good thing to put on your resume. So when you go out there, you'd be like, oh, here's a certificate. So you know about some of this stuff.
But do you know
That's
about
it.
this stuff? I mean, AIT, yeah, you did learn a couple new things. You also had some time to at least chill and relax. But
Yeah, if you can decide to sleep in and just not do anything in the evening if you want after your formation's done. Like
nice.
you didn't have to play games, you didn't have to go to the gym, you could just go to sleep if you wanted to.
But, you know, after AIT, so currently right now you are settled into a new base. You've got pretty much kind of like a different life right now. So I know you talked to me and a few others about like what you're doing right now, but you know, so but basically like, you know, how's life been at that base so far?
I mean, if you're a city kid like we are, it's kind of hell on earth. There's no tech. Uh, it kind of deprives you all your city luxuries, like having a nice theater or a
Man.
shopping mall. Yeah, shopping mall, arcade, nowhere here. A lot of like nice restaurants like Cheesecake Factory, not here.
Ah, dude.
A decent downtown area, not here. But if you're an outdoorsman or you're from the south, I think you'd have a lot of fun here because there's a lot of hunting. There's just too much game here to hunt for. Like there are just deer that threaten the livelihood of cars here. It's actually insane how many car
Dude.
crashes we have just from deer.
My goodness.
Yeah, in outdoor activities like archery or even like shooting, Like that's really popular here. Fishing is really popular here. So here anything but sea, dude, it's actually decent. Like there's a lot of things to do for you.
So pretty much
Yeah.
like you pretty much adjusted from your city life to pretty much like outdoors life, huh?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing how I was at college, where if I wanted to do something, I had to organize it myself. So right
Yeah.
now, like all the nerds here, we're trying to like get a Smash scene back together.
Hell yeah.
Not having too much success right now because people keep rotating in and out from deployment.
Yeah, but at least it's something.
See, yeah. I don't mean, I don't. There's a lot of Smash players I don't like the tendencies that they have, but we'll get past that. Like we're getting a Magic group together, so that's why I've been collecting Magic cards and shit. It's pretty fun. It's like a board game night.
Hell yeah.
There are a decent amount of people here who play League. They're just too scared to say that they play League, as usual.
I mean, yeah, I can understand.
I'm probably gonna put like a sign up sheet for like league activities because I see people in the Warrior Zone, which is kind of our like
Wow.
lounge area that
Uh
we
huh.
and there's all like everyone could just play on the computers. I'm thinking of putting like a League of Legends sign up sheet for like, hey, you want to play up more soldiers on post? Like put your like name here, and then I'll
That,
add you to
yeah,
like a Discord so you
yeah.
play with other soldiers on post.
That honestly is like, yeah, that's a good way to like just bond with the soldiers there, just having a good time playing League. I think that's really cool for you guys.
But overall, I personally don't like here. I don't think I would prefer another base because I wanted to go to Korea, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. But
So,
at least you're
but
making the
what's
most of
my
it.
yeah? I mean, one of the pros is that like if honestly if it were really to it, I'd be saving a lot of money just being here because there's not a lot of shit to spend on.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like I definitely save from at least $200 every paycheck because there's really nothing to spend. Like all you can go is just go eat
Yeah. I mean, food's always nice, so there's that.
or like buy games or whatever.
Yeah, and some video games too. Like you're lucky enough to like you still have you got a pretty decent laptop and a couple good games on it, so
Yeah, I'm definitely considering trading this laptop for something else, like getting something big. I thought I'd be on like deployment a lot, so to bring this laptop around me, but I want a bigger screen.
guess not. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for
How life's
like living
treated
here.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, like it is nice that, you are trying to spend quality time in area that you're not really comfortable with, but, it's something. So now
And
jumping
yeah, it
in.
really your life really depends on your unit and base. That's it. Like I've heard
For
people who have
sure.
like great. I've heard people who party every single day with their
Oh,
units, and I've heard people who just suffer every single day and have to do training every
Oh
and
man.
like have late work days.
But anyways, now let's talk about something, yeah, of course, real life stuff, How do you feel when world events happen, especially with what's going on right now with the whole war between Ukraine and Russia?
So for every soldier, every time we hear about like Ukraine and Russia or like the threat of that we might have to like go out again and help out. Most of us don't really think about it too much because it's part of the job, really.
Yeah.
Like when you really get to the groundwork, it's just like, well, you signed that contract. You knew you were like, the real potential of getting to a conflict. You came into the army being like, that's not gonna be happening. As soon as I get in, like, well, you're dead wrong because there's always something happening out there in the world.
Oh
You just
yeah.
don't see it from like the mainstream media. But being military opens up your eyes because you're constantly being informed about the threats of the world and the threats of the states,
Yeah, yeah, like
like how
you're always being aware of like everything.
yeah. Yeah, and then because every political thing that's like amplified to you because that directly affects your work week like livelihood. Like every time the president says something about a conflict, like okay, that has to do with you. It's not like a civilian where it's like, oh man, that sucks. It's like
Mhm.
no, that sucks for you as a soldier because you have to actually do something. That's your boss up there saying something.
Yeah, yeah.
But every time we get a notice about it, everyone just understands like, all right, we're gonna spend as much time as we can with our family, friends, because never know that you gotta leave at some point. That's why a lot of soldiers get married, because
Yeah.
you get some extra moolah when you get sent overseas for you and your family members. So
Right.
if I was married, you get the overseas pay and combat pay, and just like you might as well because just help like I don't know it's decent compensation for having to go out there. At least you get
Right.
to help out your family.
Right. And I think
But
that's like, one of the more valuable lessons, at least, is just like, we gotta tell, the people around us, like, how much we love and appreciate them, because, we never gonna know what's gonna happen the next day, or like month, or whatever. I think that's probably like what you and the other soldiers pretty much go through, huh?
but like when you learn base trade, like you kind of laugh at a lot of shit. So even like they say, oh, you're going to deploy next week or something like that, you'd be like, oh, at least we're going to Poland. You know, get some nice food, get shot at maybe.
But there's food.
Yeah, that's food. That's food though.
Yeah, I mean, I think this kind of leans into what I was gonna ask you next. Is like, despite all the physical challenges you went through, basic, and maybe some of the more mental challenges you had during this entire time, like, what would you say is like the biggest challenge you dealt with during this entire time?
Um, it's definitely the mental. The whole like you're very unsure about your future. The fact that like so yeah, you get all these like army benefits, whatever, but like, are you gonna make it to that point? You know,
Right. It's
because
always that
there's
scary
so many
thought.
things. Yeah, there's so many things could happen to you in the military, from you getting injured, from doing something a post, like maybe your significant other like cheats on you or you're out. There's just too
Yeah.
many like things that can happen that aren't in your control that kind of
Yeah.
affects your mental, and that's why like the army has like the highest suicidal rate of
Oh.
like the national average. And
Yeah.
there's some posts specifically like even here is the reason why we have like 1 week dedicated to like health and wellness is because like the army itself has a high suicide rate, and then there's certain posts that have the highest suicide rate of that average, and one of them is Fort Riley. So the army here
Mm-hmm.
like is super serious about trying to deal with mental health issues and making sure that soldiers have the support they need.
Yeah, and credit to your base, because yeah, like, mental health is very important, and especially for you guys that like eventually have to go out into the field like that. Yeah, like, I give a lot of credit for that, for bringing more awareness for you guys.
Yeah, and then like this PTSD is probably like the least common thing you'll find in the army. Like
Really?
it's a bit of a stereotype because PTSD only really happens to people who are like directly involved in the war. And most of the people in the army aren't directly involved with the war. They're like support.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Unless you're like in the very hard front line, so
Yeah, unless like you see you're like, in support and then like right out the window you see someone die, then like yeah,
yeah.
it's probably gonna affect you in some way. But most of the time you're sitting way like in the center of operations where you're miles and miles away from whatever conflict's happening. So,
Yeah.
but I think the more serious like mental damage that already does to you is the fact that like you're out there, you're lonely technically, your family's nowhere near you, your friends are nowhere near you, you only got the soldiers that are nearby. You're deprived of like certain freedoms. You can't really do much sometimes. Like your relations with like some of your peers and some like your family members might deteriorate a little bit just because you can't talk to them as much or see them as much. I know we
Yeah.
have one of the soldiers here that like his girlfriend's always telling him that like there's like relationship suffering because every time she gets time off to go spend time with him, the army makes him do something else on their like day
Oh,
together,
oof.
so they can like spend time together.
Yeah, that's tough. Really tough.
So and then that shit like kind of hurts you mentally because it's like man, what if like I can't ever plan anything for my life? How am I supposed to do this with like the army constantly looking over my shoulder?
Right, right. It's really a big mental
So
challenge for everybody.
so I think that's what slowly breaks you, might put you in depression. It definitely makes you somewhat suicidal because like like
You,
you're in this
you, you
contract
just
for
don't
such a
know.
long time. Yeah,
Yeah,
most of the time you take like rare for people like me to actually have a 3 year contract. 3 year contracts aren't very common. A
yeah.
lot of people see have like a 6 year contract, 9 year contract with a bonus,
Mm-hmm.
and when you start going to problems really early into your contract. Like to your point, you're like, oh shit, like my relationships with people are suffering, and like what's gonna be like a 9 years later from now? Am I going to have anyone? Is it going to be worth it at the end to have all those
Right.
benefits?
Yeah.
Because I mean that's why you see like a lot of homeless soldiers because like they don't really have anyone,
Yeah.
and like they're just so mentally damaged from everything. And then top that off, like most of those homeless soldiers are probably from the Afghan war, so they do have PTSD.
Yeah. And I think I remember too, in like the in San Francisco when I went a few times, and then even like near our old university, like we did see like a whole bunch of like veterans and soldiers that are still that are homeless, that are still having like being mentally damaged from whatever battle they were in. So yeah, it's definitely taken a toll on everybody. But I think to really just trying to lighten the mood up to really end things on a lighter note is that despite every challenge you're going through, despite the mental challenges you have, what would you say is like the most valuable thing you've got throughout this entire experience?
I think it's just like when you really want, it's like college where you have all these opportunities, but you really have to dig deep to find them. I think that's what the army has. That I think is the most valuable thing I've gained because, like for example, I got a lot of certificates just from being in the army that I didn't think I'd had to look for. Like it's definitely boosted my progress in life. So
Right,
like
right,
before, I wasn't able to like stash away $500 every 2 weeks. Before, I wasn't able to live in my own apartment like I am now. Before, like without like having to pay bills.
right.
Before, I was able to invest in stocks and bonds and like invest to like secure my future. So I think I'd be like most appreciative and the valuable thing is just having more opportunities to expand on my life
And
than I
to
would like as a college student.
yeah, like basically like continue to keep building yourself up in your own
Yeah.
way.
The armies definitely expand more options for me if I like decide to go whatever route. So, for example, I would have never considered getting a vehicle or my driver's license as a civilian because, like,
Yeah.
one like it would just be it would just be too expensive to buy a car with like my income
Right,
and the fact that like maybe I had to move an apartment like somewhere some of our peers, but the
right.
fact that I could be like, man, I can get married, and when I have to like deal with the financial strain that has to come with marriage, or I can get a vehicle, a nice one too, without having to deal with the financial strain of like having to high interest rate because
Right.
the army actually caps your interest rate a
Oh,
certain amount when
interesting.
you like get loans.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, then like I never considered myself getting my master's because back then I was like, oh shit, it's gonna
Hell
take
yeah.
way too many years, application, money to get that master's, and then it's like, yeah, aren't we gonna pay for it? And you get military, like like FAFSA. It's like, oh shit, I
Hell
might
yeah,
actually
dude.
consider getting my master's. And like, yeah, and then the whole like marriage for like, I never actually considered getting marriage in like forever, just because like damn, I had to pay for myself and somebody else. But now it's just like, wait, the army could pay for that somebody else.
Yeah. I mean,
And they give
that's
us
a
a house.
Wait, they gave you a house?
Yeah, if you're married, you get a house.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh shit.
Yeah, it's called BH. So that's why sometimes like soldiers will get married just for the sake of that BH, so they get their own place. And your
Yeah.
BH, or just the money you get for your household, depends on the state you live in. So some people that like for example you get BAH in California, you get more pay from your BAH than you would for your actual paycheck
Wow.
because the cost of living is just so high.
Yeah, especially if you like since both of us are Cali boys, so
Yeah. So you can get your BAH, move to like a house that has like a smaller like well quote quote small as small as you can get and just pocket the rest of that BAH money because you're not paying as much for that house because you decide to move to an apartment.
Wow. All right. Military benefits be really coming in clutch. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you just gotta really find it. Some people just kind of like lay around for their military career, and the military does have things to help you with that because they actually take 10% away from your paycheck every paycheck, and they put into a retirement fund without your Like they force you to have that retirement fund because they know
Oh,
you're probably not responsible enough at
shit.
that age.
I guess just overall, just, to summarize and to wrap things up for this episode, it's like, for anyone out there, like, in the military, of course, it's going to be a lot of physical challenges and mental challenges, but, you start to appreciate life and, you start to build a bigger foundation for yourself. And I think, that's the biggest lesson and takeaway from today's episode.
Yeah, just like if you decide on joining any military branch, you have to like know what you're getting into. Like, don't join
Yeah,
the military just for the sake of joining the military. You got to know what you want before you join it, because if you don't use the military, they're gonna use you.
exactly. Yeah, so be smart about it. Know your stuff. But actually, before we actually end today's episode, we're gonna do a quick little fun game for you. Just basically lightning round. I have 10 this or that questions. You just pick which one you like. I didn't tell you beforehand because I usually leave this as a surprise. So,
All right.
yeah, I mean, it's just 10 basic ones. Alright, number one. Do you like ramen or udon?
It's probably udon.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Thick noodles, dude.
Thick noodles. Alright, Baki or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
It's probably Jojo. I enjoy Baki, but Jojo, like the absurdity,
Hell yeah.
is it more up there? Plus the animation budget.
Oh yeah. Alright, swords or spears?
We talk about all swords or like specific swords.
I just in general.
If you did like all spears, like halberds and shit like that, it's probably swords then. I'm gonna say my favorite weapon is great swords.
Is what you're running on Elden Ring, so.
Yeah, every RPG I can play, I'll run a great sword, even if it's like a big detriment.
Alright, physical art, so like, painting, pastel, watercolor, or more digital art.
I guess digital art, just because all the art that I commission is digital art from Twitter.
Yeah, especially your current icon right now, what I got for you. Alright, shorts or jeans?
Jeans. You'll never see me wear shorts. I think like only two people have seen my legs. The only time I ever wore shorts was PT and maybe 2 times in my room when our friends Angelo and Lily came over.
Wow, okay.
Mhm.
Lifting or leg day?
Fuck. I probably did.
Which one
I
is
usually do
it?
core like cardio is usually my
Oh,
go-to.
okay.
So it's like neither. But I guess if I choose between the two, it'd probably be leg, just because like
You do run a lot
actually no.
anyway.
Yeah, fuck. Both suck. Maybe it's lifting. Yeah, it's probably lifting.
Okay,
Like
lifting.
they really fucking suck. Because we had to do distance running every single time. I fucking hate distance running.
Alright. Actually, I'm not sure if you've seen these two shows or like have caught up with it, but Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer?
I've not watched either, so I don't think I can
Alright,
answer
we're
this
gonna
question.
okay. First skip, first ever skip. Alright, honey mustard or ranch?
Fuck, I despise both of them. But if I really have to choose,
Wait,
I probably pick
really?
ranch. Yeah, I actually don't like either of them.
Even if we're gonna get like I don't know, like wings or something, like spicy wings.
Did I? Dude, if it's a spice face, I just eat plain, man. I'll just eat with the hot sauce. Like I won't eat
Okay,
ranch.
all right. You're no bitch when it comes to spice. I like that.
Yeah, dude, Aldrin just takes the ranch from me every single time we go out. Yeah, B-dubs.
Hell yeah. All right. Hot tubs or saunas?
Hot tubs or saunas?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a hot tub, so I'll probably pick sauna because that's all I've ever been in.
All right. Okay. Last question. More fun, 80 carry, Ash or Kaisa?
I've had more fun with Ash just because you can use the long range arrows to snipe out mid lane, top lane,
Yeah.
especially when you're bored. Kaisa is fun, but I played way too much of that champion, like
I mean, same here.
competitively, and that's kind of ruined the fun for me. Back when we were playing Collegiate, I would run that champion a lot. That and I ran her when she was at her weakest state too, when she first came out.
Oh man.
So while I do can like hard carry on Kai'Sa, it's just too easy to hard carry on Kai'Sa. Ash at least has like team
CC.
utility. Yeah, you do more things for your team. That makes it more fun for me. Kai'Sa's kind of like you can do shit yourself.
Yeah.
I mean Ash too, but like
She's
you
more
usually can combo
team.
with
She's
any
more
team.
team useful. Yeah. So your answer is Ash then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd pick Ash.
All right, and that is it for the lightning round. And that's gonna wrap up today's episode with you, Corey. So yeah, thanks for joining in and taking the time to talk about your time in the military, dude.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no
it.
problem, man.
And also, just to let everyone that's listening know, we are coming up on the 20th episode specials. So I have got a lot of good plans for that. So stay tuned to know more. But anyways, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Apartment 308, like today's video, comment. If you're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other podcast platform, give us a follow and a like. And, in the comments below, if you're someone that's, like in the military, a veteran, or, has anyone affiliated with the military, just, put it in the comments below. Give us a shout it out, or, just tell, how much you appreciate the soldiers that are working for us. But on that note, guys, we'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye bye.
I'm gonna ruin your recording with these nuts.
God
You gotta,
fucking damn it.
now you gotta cut that out.